Good evening and welcome to Speaker Club Saturday night number 120. We are into the 120s already, and it feels like yesterday that we celebrated our 100th Speaker Club Saturday night. And yes, 20 means approximately it's already 4 months since the time we celebrated that 100th special Saturday night that we had. After a long set of different kind of sessions, the serious ones, the open mic ones, I thought it's time for us to have a little bit of a fun so that we all lighten up, given the environment of cold, cough, dengue, whatever things are happening in everyone's life. I think it's important for us to break free and just enjoy and make this Saturday night a lighter one, not the lighter one like the platelet counts that we have, but apart from that, the lighter one in the sense where we all can go back and sleep well tonight, rather than like most other Speaker Club Saturday nights where you are started to wake up because of the Saturday night and it doesn't end because you're reflecting, you're thinking deeper. What did I learn? What is happening? All those things which happened, which doesn't make you sleep. But hopefully today's Speaker Club Saturday night should give you a good opportunity to reflect and remember a lot of things in your life, the good times, the good memories that you have had. And we are looking forward to listening to stories from all of you all, so that we all can learn from each other. And it need not be learning. It can be just fun. It can be sharing a moment with us. We'll be more than happy to listen to you and learn from you. The theme for tonight is a fun night alongside the idea of stories. Each one of us, each one of us are basically a collection of stories. If you talk of it, if you want to summarize your life, it's going to be a story of a small packages, small, big, emotional, turmoil, traumatic, nostalgic, whatever emotions that you want to call it, it's going to be stories. And because that's how we remember our life. If I were to ask you to look back at your life right now and tell me 3 instances that defined your life, it won't be just facts. It'll be stories. And that's the power of how stories connect us and make us and build our life. So what we'll be doing today is the first one is to just lighten up the environment. We have an interesting activity called as name, place, emotion, and action. What we'll be doing is like the childhood game that we played of finding or recollecting what is it, which name, animal or thing or place is referencing. Here, because it's Speaker Club and because we're talking of our stories, we had a little bit of a twist in it, and the game being called name, place, emotion, and action. What I'll be doing is I'll be sharing my screen, and I don't know who's going to get what. So it's not targeted to someone. So you can feel assured that I'm not the one who's deciding your topic. We have basically 10 of each categories. Name, which is a kind of a person category, like a child, a boss, or something like that. A place, a setup where you will be referenced to. The third being emotion of how you're feeling. And the last one being action of what you're doing. What I want you all to be doing is build one story which has all the 4 things. It can be real, it can be fictional. Whatever comes up to your mind, please share. The target is to use all 4 of them, but do not force yourself. Like I said, it's fun night. Do not force yourself to have for sure all the 4 things. You can just try to build a story according to that. And what we'll be doing is I'll be choosing people. Here's a screen for you. I'll be choosing people. All of you all can see the screen? Yes, no? Perfect. So what I'll be doing now is, if as an example, this is the set of 4 people or the 4 things which I wanted to mention: a boss, in the office, heartbroken, reading. What will be the story that you'll be creating? Now, here, each of these boxes have 10 different words. And the combination can be any. So basically, you're talking of 10 into 10 into 10 into 10. There are 10,000 possible combination of stories that can be formed based on the combination that you get. You just have to create your story from whatever you feel. We are more than happy to listen to it, is what I would say. So just to give you an example, see if I click on this and click enter, all the 4 will change. It can repeat, it can happen, anything, but all 4 will change. So that you can see the change of words on the screen. Yes, no, Vijaya?
Yes, we can see.
Divya? Okay.
We can.
अभी आपको story उस हिसाब से बनानी है. Let's have the first person who will be coming today. Umam, can we have you? You being the natural storyteller among all of us. Umam?
Yeah, here I am.
Okay. If camera is possible, I'll stop the screen share after I do it so that we get a good recording. Otherwise, you will be one small square at the end of the box of the video and it won't be valid. Okay, so I'm just changing the words for you. Just see the words and then remember them because it won't come up again. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. You can begin after 5 seconds.
No, should I start with what you showed me first, or this is the one?
No. Now the words for you are this: maid, airport, annoyed, relaxing. Clear with the 4 words?
Yeah.
Maid, airport, annoyed, relaxing. Over to you, Uma.
My maid, she was excited to go to the airport along with me when I told her that I'm taking her on a trip to a far off place, a sightseeing place. She had never traveled by flight, and she said her people at home will be annoyed when they are not going to see her for some time. I forgot the 4th word.
I put it in chat. Relaxing is the 4th word.
Okay. So I just told her, just relax, cool. You're going to have fun. You tell them that I also need a break. How long will I be working for different places? My, what do you say? The person who has employed me, ma'am, she has told me that she's going to take me on a holiday. So don't I deserve a holiday? She started asking her husband. And then her husband realized, yes, my wife is working throughout the day for our family. Why can't I give her a break? And after all, I'm not going to spend for it. It's her employee who is spending for her. Let her go and have a change and come. It will be relaxing for her, definitely. And then he told, go ahead. I will take care of the kids. You go and enjoy. And she was so happy. She just started packing her things and she went and told her ma'am, please go ahead and book the tickets. My husband has consented. And her day was done. So we should care and empathize for our mates too, because they work for us whole day long. And this is a small thing we can show in return for them. I'm sure you'll agree with this.
Wonderful. Wonderful, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that wonderful storyline. I like the ending with a message for all of us. Thank you for sharing that. Who's coming up next? Vijaya? Right. I'm sharing the screen for you and then again I'll stop. Okay, I'm just giving you the next words. The words for you are teacher, hotel, proud, playing. Teacher, hotel, proud, playing.
खुद पे बोल सकते हैं क्या?
Anything. The story is yours. It can be fiction, it can be real, it can be anything.
Once upon a time, मतलब एक समय ऐसा था कि मैं और मेरे teachers, we went for a trip and we stayed at a hotel, and there we have to pay for our hotel. I'm audible? We have to pay for our hotel, and at that time I was not running, so that time my ma'am told me that I will pay for you. You pay me in some different way later on in life. ऐसा. So उन्होंने क्या बोला, फिर मैंने बोला कि मैम I'm not having money, so what to do? तो बोले I'm paying for you ना, I'm paying for you for this hotel, and later on you pay to me or to someone else, and you can help other, and you at that time you will make me feel proud and you remember me कि क्या हुआ. So that time what is the thing कि थोड़े साल हो गए. That time I was in 12th, and after that I left my school and I entered in college, and I was playing some games in the college, and at that time my friend, we have an entry fees in that game. Okay, there is some 500 or 1000 rupees, and one of my friend was not having that. money at that time. So I provided him 500 rupees, and he told me that I'll give it to you back. And that time I said that no, you do it, you help someone else, and it will be a return to me. So just like that, my teacher helped me, and because of her, I got to a knowledge that it is not always taking back; it is giving and continue that chain. आगे आगे.
Very interesting. I love that. Is it real, by the way?
ये एक्चुअली होटल का नहीं था, मेरी बस स्कूल की बस मिस हुई थी.
In principle, idea is real.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And I am following that from so long, and I'm helping, and I'm not taking back. Because
Very interesting idea.
मैम ने 10 रुपीस दिए थे मेरे लिए, मेरी स्कूल की मतलब वो बोलते ना सिटी वेन के लिए. और वो 10 रुपीस से मैंने कितने लोगों की हेल्प करती हूँ. मैं यही बोलती हूँ कि you help someone else.
Very interesting. Thank you, Vijaya, for sharing that. I think this is what I think Speak Up Club is all about. Bringing out these stories, I think, which are untold or unexpressed, and I think it inspires us to do or live in a certain way. Thank you, Vijaya, for sharing that. Who's coming up next? Dinesha or Ravi? Ravi?
Yeah, it's okay.
You'd like to try something?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. On the screen, and I'm sharing the 1 second. Okay, the words for you are this: boss, playground, heartbroken, eating. Boss, playground, heartbroken, eating. I'll share these words in the chat also, so don't worry about the memory part of it. You can begin with the story.
Yeah. Yeah, I will tell you. So in my organization, one of the CDPL, and we do every year annual conclave. So everything arranging, my boss and I coordinate with him. I'm not able to see. Yeah, coordinating with him. So after completing the meeting, so next day, so we have a playing the we will and entertainment and giving to the all the employees. So that time I was playing with my boss. He is a vice president of this. So I played with him as well cricket and as well as chess also in the playground. Chess, I win 3 times. Really, it was 3 times I win. So it is in Pepira's going to Shamshabad. After Shamshabad is Pepira's resort is there. In that resort, still I remember that one. So after that day I win, and that day we have dinner also. So that we have dinner that night. We all together, entire members we had. So my boss also, he drank so much. So we will give that event drink also allow in that meeting. So he drank and fell down. He fell down too much, and his people, all the team members we came. We are. His name is Babu Bhaskaran. So we are calling him to please wake up, wake up. He is not hearing. So immediately we admitted him to the hospital, ordered to hospital. After 2 to 3 hours, he came to होश में आ गया. तो होश में आने के बाद then we relaxed. We felt relaxed. That was the one incident it was. So it is all that whatever you are wrote, all are related to real, and it is connected with that.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Rahul.
Thank you, Ravi, for sharing that. Interesting. I would want a boss like that who would fall down. I'm not sure I would wake him up or not. You took him to the hospital at least. Thank you, Ravi, for sharing that. Who's coming up next? Hi, Ratish. Good to see you here. Dinesha, yes, I'll share the screen for you. Here you go. And the words for you are father, beach, sad, sleeping. father, beach, sad, sleeping. Over to you, Dinesha.
There is something common in all of us. Once we become adult, start earning, taking responsibilities, we think like we should take care of our parents during our elder age. Every time what happened, whenever I'll go to sleep, this one thing will come across in my mind, what I am doing, how my parents, because I have a habit of every day calling my parents around 8 o'clock. They are staying in native. I am staying with my family in Bangalore. My father and mother are staying in my native. They are like almost 60 plus age, both are. Presently, they are cooking themselves. They are managing themselves. Now, the today generation, what is happening, like if a husband, wife, one children is like a joint family. That is a culture we have 2022 we have. But when they took back my father generation, they're completely different. At this age, they want to have a very fun family, like along with grandchildren, son, daughter-in-law. But situation is very worst here. Now the trend has changed. No, like I'm not blaming anyone. Now whatever the females we marry, they want to be like family, it's just like micro family, husband, wife, children. They don't want to stay there. Here, one thing is every day like bother me, like I'm not able to take care of my parents. If they have some small pain, if I go and press their legs, then that will give more satisfaction. At the same time, I want to take them to a trip along with where we go. We as a family, myself, wife, son will go some tourist place, beach and all. Always will come to my when I'm going to take my parents along with them. Say also it is the right time, they'll also go and see temples, beach. This was always bother me. This is the one thing always sad part of me in my life, because I'm like an emotional guy. Always I'm a right-minded, right brain person. I'll always think in an emotion way. So I am finding it very difficult to digest uh, because I'm not able to take care, satisfy during that difficult times. I hope everybody, most of them will come across the same situation except you. This is the trend is happening. I am looking forward to come across solution, but till now the solution is not coming on my way. Presently I'm managing whatever the best I can do, like calling like twice a day. How are you, father? Have you eaten? What breakfast? Do you need any support? Like now, at the same time, I come across one more idea. Normally, parents they will not open up while talking. What happened? How are you? Finished your breakfast, lunch. There, and overall conversation ends the matter. Now, yesterday I realized that instead of like only limiting my conversation, why can't I learn one story? Whether whatever maybe the like our history story, whatever the one short story, why can't I start discussing the story along with my parents while I'm calling at 8 o'clock? Why can't I share what I felt, daddy? How is the story today? I learned. I thought I like every day. Let me stop at the story, one story, so that our conversation will get increased, our bondage will get increased. That's what I can able to do some justify with my parents, come up with my the overall talk length as well as make I feel I also so while sleeping I can also have a good sleep. That's what I want to convey with these 4 words.
Thank you, Dinesha. I think a beautiful idea, and I'm not sure of the solution, but the fact that it still matters, the fact that it still bothers you, talks about the heart that you have. All I would say is that. And let's see, maybe someday if we can discuss and build over what we can do about it, let's work on it. I think we are all in the same boat to a large extent. We all have the same challenges, the normal, regular human being challenges that we talk of. I think, yeah, I think that's a good point to ponder over of how and what we can do about it. Let's go with next person. Who's coming up next? Ratish? Wonderful. Unmute and I'll just share the screen. And the 4 words for you will be, 1 second. Okay, the words for you are this: sister, restaurant, tired, watching. Sister, restaurant, tired, watching.
Yes, sir. So my sister, she is very fond of taking junk foods, and like she like all this outside street items. So what happened? She was telling me that you don't take me any restaurant. I want to go and take all this burger, pizza, all these things. So one day what happened? I decided, okay, we will go today. But what happened? When we came out, we see that like we are on the way, but there was a big jam. Okay, traffic jam. So what happened? There was no other way. Either we have to wait or we have to go by walk. So we started walking, and we went to restaurant. We had some food, but what happened after that? Again, that jam was because of accident. There was a jam. So again, we have to came by walk only. So we get so much tired in this process because it was like a treat, but it became a punishment now. She told me that what happened? You told me that you will give me a treat, but you are now giving me punishment. Take me somehow. I told, how can I take you? Like I cannot take you on my shoulders because it's a long distance. Then she was tired. Then what happened? Anyhow, we reached our room there. But when again there was a like lot of things to do, the household work. She told me, you do the household work, and I will watch movie because I'm very much tired. So that was the story.
Interesting. Thank you, Ratish, for sharing that. Real story or created one?
Yeah, just a spot.
Okay, wonderful, nice. Who's coming up next? Akanksha?
Yes.
Video. Thank you. Here you go. The words for you are these. Teacher, office, proud, reading. Teacher, office, proud, reading.
So one fine day, I went to my teacher's office. So I went there. I was reading a book. While I was waiting for the teacher to come finish their work and come and talk to me. It was years after I last seen them. Years later, it was the first time I was seeing them. And though I wasn't in such a wonderful position, I was still in a much, much better place than whoever I was. And seeing your childhood teachers is always a wonderful experience. I was so anxious while I was waiting for them that I started reading my favorite book. It was as always, available as a PDF on my phone. I didn't have a physical copy with me, so PDFs to the go. So while I was reading, I was so into it, and I started laughing all of a sudden due to a funny scene that came up. And that's exactly when my teacher decided to show up. The teacher showed up and reminded me of how once upon a time, exactly in their class, I was caught reading under the desk while they were trying to teach. The teacher reminded me of that time and said, "You never change. You're still the same." It was such a nostalgic memory for the both of us because it was their first year as a teacher. And obviously, first years for teachers are very, very special. Thank you.
Thank you, Akanksha. Real story? No, good. Because when you said childhood, you are still in your childhood. That's okay. Let's have the next person. Who's coming up? Sri Krishna or Priscilla? Ellen, you're next. This is like that that student who gets into the class and suddenly is told, this is the exam paper, start writing. Okay. Do we have Priscilla or do we have Sri Krishna? Anyone?
No.
Okay, not a problem. So Ellen, what we're doing is I'm sharing 4 words and you have to create a story out of it. It can be real, it can be fiction, it can be whatever you want to share. The 4 words for you are on the screen right now, updated. Friend, beach, depressed, sleeping. Friend, beach, depressed, sleeping. Ellen, I'm going to put those things in the chat also. So yeah, go ahead. You're on mute. That's a technique you use,
yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. My friend actually, myself, I went beach actually. after a long time. But why we went, actually, he is depressed. A lot of his love story or something like that, he is depressed. So he said, actually, I am not sleeping much actually nowadays. So I have to sleep actually. So he came to beach and again we roamed there. Again, we took bath. Again, something I can't share here. Yeah. So he relaxed himself. Again, he went and again he said, I need to feel sleepy. I need to go and sleep. Like that, he slept.
एक था राजा, एक थी रानी, दोनों मर गए, खत्म कहानी. Thank you, Ellen. Wonderful, nice share. Good. So Priscilla is not in the condition to talk, so we'll go to the next round of activity. What we have is, we have played this in the past. It's basically, I'll need 3 people and I'll be assigning 1, 2, 3 to them. We'll start a story somewhere and each one speaks only one line and the story continues. You will create, the next person continues the story wherever it is, and the third person continues, and then again back to the first person. Okay, so let me assign the 3 people for the first story. We'll have Vijaya, we'll have Dinesha, and Uma ma'am. Vijaya is number 1, Dinesha number 2, and Uma ma'am number 3. Here, everyone. So you'll be, I'll share the story at the start, and you can continue. Okay, so Vijay will continue with the only, and there's only one line each. You continue and then again it will come back to Vijay. Clear? Uma, I'm clear?
Yeah, finally, we have to conclude the story.
No, you don't have to conclude. I'll stop. Whenever I start to feel boring, I'll stop it. But if I feel the masala is good enough, we'll continue it. Depends on the type of masala that you add in the story. It's because everyone, all 3 people are collectively creating the story. It can become a great dish or it can become a good laughter therapy. Anyways, we'll start. There was once a person who was stuck with a mosquito. And a few days later, they got to know they have dengue. And that was someone's husband. Vijaya, over to you. You're on mute, Vijaya.
What is the last line?
That person was someone's husband.
My husband.
Continue the story. We have Vijaya, then Uma ma'am, and then Dinesh. Okay, then Dinesh and then Uma ma'am. Continue.
We thought that it was a viral fever, but detected as dengue. Next.
At the same time, they decided to catch hold that mosquito because till now they were not even hurted any animal.
So the search was on to find the mosquito.
Vijaya, continue.
And I found one, and who is biting me.
Then they started like scratching their head whether it's the same mosquito or at the same time wanted to find is a male mosquito or female mosquito. They're confused to rectify which one is the correct one.
So a plan was hatched that whichever mosquito sits on a lady, that will be a male mosquito, and whichever sits on the female will be a male mosquito. That was the plan to find out.
The mosquito, male mosquito fighted with the female mosquito and it started biting. It started biting gents mosquito. Gents, male.
Anyway, we find it like that is the right mosquito by 10. At the same time, we have realized we have to give little punishment because the platelet count has come down. We have to reduce the same mosquito platelet. For that, research is happening now.
Finally, the research proved right, and they published it in the paper saying that these are the findings, and it was a great research indeed.
Scientists also invented a mosquito which is increasing the platelets.
The same experiment, everything happened. Finally, one day they listened Ramayana story. Then they realized why we have to hurt this animal. It is intentionally it has not done. Now they started thinking.
So from the mosquito bite, we have come to Ramayana, and the story will move on to Mahabharata also, if you give us some more space.
Thank you, Vijaya, Dinesha, and Uma ma'am. Okay, now I have to decipher what happened to the husband. Everyone left that husband aside. The point went from the husband's dengue directly to the mosquito, and now it came to Ramayana. And Uma ma'am was forcefully thinking of what can I add masala over here. She brought in Mahabharata also. Interesting.
Husband anyway is hospitalized. We cannot do anything.
And Rahul is putting a message in Speak Up Club. Any platelet donors, please? Anyways, thank you.
No, I'll tell you what is more funny. Male mosquitoes don't actually bite anyone. They only eat plants or something like that, and that got even funnier.
Uma ma'am, they're also male are sober, like the normal like the husbands. They are sober. Interesting. Thank you, Akanksha, for saying that fact. Interesting. Thank you, Dinesha, Uma ma'am, and Vijaya. Let's move to the next three people. Can we have Akanksha, Ravi? Are you okay? Or you'd want to hold on to your laughter because what will be happening here, you will not be sure. And then we'll have Ellen. Okay, Akanksha 1, Ravi 2, Ellen 3. Clear? Okay.
Yes.
The setup is I'm going for an exam. And I know I'm not prepared anything. And there the teacher is looking at me with full hopes that you are going to be the topper of my class. You are going to make your parents proud and the teacher and the school proud. And there she comes in front of you and is standing in front of you. Akanksha.
I start with the title. I put the number of marks that I have to get for the first section of the exam.
Ravi,
you're on mute.
Exam. I didn't understand here. So should I continue with Akanksha or else my own story?
You continue where Akanksha left. So in the sense, you can create your own story from there or whatever you want to do out of it.
Achha.
Okay, that's the idea.
Okay, so got it. So after that exam, written exam, but so result came, but the way to get admission that didn't know. I'm searching with my friends, discussing with the relatives and super seniors, and check which after completed 10th, which course I need to take, whether by PCR, MPC or CEC. I have number of doubts.
Ravi, one or two lines only. Then Ellen, over to you.
Okay, got it. So I have doubts. I'm searching for taking next group.
Yeah. Actually, after that, what I will do, I inform my parents. This is the first best college in our town, so I can ready to join.
And then my parents asked me if I'm sure to go and live in the hostel that they were offering.
So hostel, there is a which hostel I need to choose, whether food is also good or not good. So can I go the day scholar or can I stay in the hostel only? If I stay in hostel, I will get more freedom. If at home, I won't get the freedom.
Yeah, I will searching where is the ladies hostel also near. Then only I will I'll stay there, or else I will day scholar also fine for me, like that.
I try to go and look at the environment there, if the classrooms are neat.
Yeah, so I will, classrooms are neat, whether is it a playground or not there, I will check. If playground is there, we can play cricket or other matches.
Yeah, I will see that staffs are there. Strict college is very strict college. I can cut the classes, like that I will see.
And on the very first day, I get into an argument with my teacher.
Okay, so I have given in the speech, I introduced myself and introduced to all the my classmates. I have given introduction, and so after that, while giving introduction, my seniors came and they were doing the ragging to me. So then,
Yeah, while actually I went and dragged actually my senior only. I don't know, she is my senior. Just I ragged her. After that, one big gang came and in front of my classroom. They are standing when their interval. He is the one actually ragged like that.
And that led to my whole class forming a team and dragging them back again.
Thank you all three of you all. I think Akanksha, Ellen and Ravi, wonderful, well done. Okay, we'll have a different version of this game, but I want you all to think of what you did just now for the first team and the second team also. Look at where a story begins and what all shapes and what all directions does it take. We all begin with a plan. We all begin with one idea or one plan, one storyline in our mind. And then we have Dinesha coming up and telling some story, the world telling us a different story, the world changing the plans that we have, and look at how the storyline ends up. And you are supporting that storyline based on what has happened. The challenge is we are often stuck in our story, our plan, our write-up that we had. And how we end up is how we are struck with that story and how we are mending into the story the world is telling us. I'm not saying mend yourself so deep that you forget what you want. And also I'm not saying be strong with your story that you do not care what the world is telling you. There's a match that we need to create between both the stories that are happening and see how we can make the best out of what story we are creating and how we are gunning through the story. Sometimes we'll have to mend our ways. Sometimes we'll have to stick to our guns and say that this is how I want my story to be. You can always bring it back. That is the choice that you're making and how you make it. So you can take this angle in different places. It's in your relationships. It's in how your life is moving. It's in your profession. It's in your personal life. Look at what is a storyline that you have envisioned or planned for yourself. डेंगू आएगा तो एडजस्टमेंट करेंगे, जो भी आएगा, एग्जाम आएगा, टीचर आएगा, एडजस्ट करेंगे. Situations happen in life, we'll adjust. But always remember, there's one story that you wrote, one that is happening, and the fight between those two is something that is real. Depends on what you choose and how you want the story to continue. That being said, now let's move to the different version of this game. Now we'll have two people playing each. This is called the same story formation, but with a twist. Whatever is happening, whatever story is being built up, I want you to twist the emotion into anything. It can be anger, it can be surprise, but I should be able to tell what the story shifted from to. So if you're telling a story, you're beginning with some story, I want you to make sure you're able to twist the emotion from humor, happiness to anger, annoyed, whatever you want to convert. I want you to shift the emotion of that story. Clear with this? So whatever the story is being told, one line or two lines by someone, and then the other person changes. Do not change the track of the story. Do not change the track of the story. Change the emotion of the story being in that same situation. So please remember that. Okay? Let's play this now. Uma ma'am and Ellen. Ellen and Uma ma'am, the content, okay, it's like two people conversing only, but the point is you want to make sure how you're converting. It's the same person. So you are right now, as an example, you are A. Uma ma'am is also A only, but she'll be taking the different emotion change which happens. Now A, as an example, you have not got the promotion that you were expecting. You worked very hard for it and you didn't still get the promotion. And you're talking to your friend. Ellen, you can begin and then Uma ma'am continues. Okay?
Yeah.
Ma'am, clear with this? Please do not divert the storyline altogether. I have started with the boss, don't end up with your wife. Please stay with the boss and the idea that we're discussing. Okay, Ellen, go ahead.
Yeah, actually, I'm past 5 years I'm working. I'm not seeing the time actually. I'm working very hard, but actually my boss, he is telling, keep on telling, I will give the best. Next year I will give you best promotion or something, but I not got, still not at got.
Ma'am, you're on mute.
What is this? Huh? Why are you crying? Huh? Just you're not got your promotion and that's why you're crying. Hey, it's all happens in life, yeah. Huh? Don't worry. Time will come. This will also pass away. Huh? Don't worry. Good times are ahead for you. Just keep working and you'll receive your success in a very short time. But you have to keep working at it. Give your 100%, whatever you do. Just maybe in a day or two, you'll get the good news. You are nearing to it, but you're giving up. Don't do that. You're going to get your promotion shortly.
No, actually, you are not taking serious. Actually, this is not simple thing I'm telling. This is my life. Actually, actually 1 or 2 years not doing like that. This is happening last 3 years. This year I'm going to see, I'm get fire also. I'm not bother about anything. This is very seriously I'm talking. See that how the funding and everything, right? After COVID, everything, even oil I have to take, means I have to take a lot of amount, right? Home and everything, lot of things. Lot of things actually there. It's not joking or something. Really, he need to take care of, or else I put my paper.
Hey, don't worry. Things will change. You have to have that hope. Hope is life. Once you start giving up, there's no positivity in life at all. Just keep on working at it. And you see, you can do some part-time jobs also. Just don't hang on this promotion. You can do some part-time jobs and accumulate some more money to take up for your house expenditure and all that. Very soon you'll get your promotion. Believe in yourself and write positive affirmations, and very soon you're going to get your promotion. Just take my word.
No, I'm not telling actually. Simply, I'm not telling. Actually, you have to all understand my feeling. Actually, my family, actually, how I am actually taking care. I have a lot of debt. Actually, I have loan and everything. I'm not actually properly sleeping. Actually, reason because of that salary increment I'm not getting. Actually, I'm not having time. I'm not spending time with family. Also, I'm not, right. Actually, very difficult. Actually, I can't express this in word. Actually, very difficult to say. Yeah.
Thank you. Wonderfully done. Dinesha, or I've just put it in chat. I think the series of change in emotions and the way your emotions came up in the tone that you had, not in the voice modulation, but in the tone and the approach that you had, was wonderful. Thank you, Uma ma'am, and thank you, Ellen. I think it was a wonderful depicted idea where you began with the facts, then Uma ma'am converted that into a positive thing, and still in a happy mood or still in that way. Then I saw the anger in you, that you're angry and you'll do anything and you're tired and you're okay with the job loss. And then again, Uma ma'am had the idea of hope. And then again, you had the idea of helplessness because of lack of any choice or whatever. Wonderful. I like this and wonderfully done, Uma ma'am and Ellen. Who's going to come up next? Vijaya? Okay, ready? Yeah, you're busy. Okay, yep. Vijaya and Dinesha. Dinesha? Okay.
Yes,
The
yes.
setup for you is you are okay. You don't have to be a role player. Okay. So as an example, here I saw Uma ma'am becoming the friend. I wanted Uma ma'am to be that A only. While Ellen is speaking, Ellen is that person who's got the job. I want Uma ma'am also to be that same person. I'm not saying you're a friend and you're advising him. I want you to be the same person. Okay. So here the situation for you is you are a parent who's seeing a child who is not focused, not getting good marks, or not focused and not preparing well for his exams. You are the parent of a child who's like that. How do you approach that? Vijaya and Dinesha. Okay. Vijaya. So we are all children. You're talking to your friend, okay, about your child. We are all your friend. Okay, Vijaya?
So we are talking to ourselves, or we are
So
talking
you're talking to a friend. You're sharing with your friend.
Okay.
And again, I'm telling you, change of emotion is what the target is. Go ahead, Vijaya.
For last 2 years, there was COVID. My daughter was not attended any of the physical class. Now what to do? She is not able to read ABC also. So it's a very critical thing that how her best will be strong. I have to think that.
But one thing I can able to appreciate my daughter, what she did yesterday, she approached one of his friend to write his homework so that I will come and play. So made a friend to complete her homework. And finally, I got to know that someone has wrote her homework. In that way, I am very happy. Like she will become a political leader in future because she has a very good influence.
But the same thing she is doing with us also as a parent, na. So we have to think that what career she should select in future. And political leader, it is not necessary to be able to read and write, and by time she will learn. So I think that she will do good in later classes.
But last time what happened, they called me parents meeting. As a parent, when I went of seeing after other children's mark sheet, my daughter not able to discuss at this moment. When I came back, with the same anger, I beaten her like anything. When she started crying, now I was not able to control. I could not able to see that she came and hugged me, mummy. It was like heart-touching moment. I was not able to control my emotion. And during that anger, I beaten her like anything. But it was very, very worst moment I would never imagine in my life.
And from that time, when she cried, now I realized that she is full of emotions and everything. So I should not force her to get everything at one day. So I should motivate her, and I will try to motivate her that she will get things in a better way in exams.
Then I decided to make her mood change. Then we played a lungi dance, Shah Rukh Khan's famous song. We both danced like anything. And all of a sudden, my husband also came after the work. He also started joining with the dance. It was like a fun day for us.
And after that,
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I think that was good. And I've just shared the sequence of emotion. Wonderful. I love the fact that how both of you all juggled between the different emotions and different approaches to it, from Vijaya beginning with the factual and balanced approach. Then Dinesh was happy and he gave the twist that politician to ban jayega. There's something that the child can do. And then Vijaya was appreciative, politician is a good career. And then Dinesha, with the situation in the school and the mark sheet, was disappointed and hurt and even blasted the child. And then again was self-hurt. Why did he do that one? And then again, Vijay had that balanced approach and encouraged. And finally, Dinesha closed with that positive note. Again, a good wave and understanding that the same fact of what has happened with the results of the child and how you're seeing it and looking at different angles, the way a situation can be perceived. And because based on that perception, your actions will change. If you justify it with the logic that it's COVID time, people, just as much as we have had the pain of these 2 years, kids are not that expressive also. They have been limited. So let's give them that time. That's an approach. Another approach was that anger, where now they need to get serious. Now it's very important for them to become serious in their education and all that stuff. Wonderful. Nice. Akanksha, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Video. Okay, this will be the last one for today, and then we'll just briefly discuss on the things that we did today and then close the session. Akanksha, are you there?
Hello?
Yeah, Akanksha,
Yes,
you're on
sir.
mute. Yes. So Akanksha, now I want you to give me a situation and we both will be the players.
You give the situation.
Anyone else, Uma ma'am or anyone can give a situation so that we can just discuss. Me and Akanksha can discuss. Uma ma'am?
Yeah, the interviewer and a person who is attending the interview. So the candidate is entering and the interviewer is ready to pose his questions. And how you are quite anxious as to how you are going to answer the interview. You just inquired with the previous candidate and he said it was really good. It was just a sales question and I'm sure you are going to crack it. I did it well. Wish you all the best. That was the small conversation they had. And now the interviewer, Rahul is the interviewer and
No,
Akanksha is-
ma'am. We both are going to be the same person, the interviewers, the person who's entering. But before entering, this person said that it was very good. It was all simple questions.
Yeah.
And then accordingly, we'll begin. Okay, Akanksha, you can begin. And so you're telling all this to your friends before you are entering the interview room. Okay.
I'm so anxious about what I'm going to do. The other person said it was good, but I'm really unsure that will it be good for me too.
If it was good for him, I had a chat with him before the interview and I didn't seem him to be too smart. If it's easy for him, it is going to be a cakewalk for me. I'm going to have fun. I think I'm going to get this job. I'm so relieved now. Even before the interview, I'm happy that I'm going to get this job for sure.
Yet again, since I noticed he was not really that smart, maybe they made it easy for him. Maybe they're going to make it hard for me. What if they make it hard for me and what if I don't get the job? I'm really not sure about what will happen next because I wouldn't know what to do with my life without this interview or without this job.
Has he already got the job? Do I need to give the interview? Have the interviewers already decided that they're happy with him and they're just going to pass the time with me? Is it just a waste of time that I'm here? Akanksha.
But what if they see that I'm actually very smart and they rather change the decision to choose me instead than him? What if I'm better than him? And what if they think I'm better for the company because of my qualities or because of my experience? And what if I'm the one who gets the job than him?
I think I'm well prepared for this. If it was easy for him, I believe the questions would have come based on what he's prepared. But I feel it's not the questions or the answers that I'm going to give. It's my attitude that I'm going to show to them of how, even if I don't know something, I'm willing to learn. I think that's what is going to matter to the company because today you're going to play with what we know, but we don't know what is going to come up tomorrow. And I'm sure if I'm prepared to learn anything that comes up when I don't know it, I think that's what will make them choose me. That's me. And that's what I'm going to tell to the interviewers.
Or I'll just pretend to be confident, not at all anxious, walk in confidently, and maybe they'll think I'm confident enough and just let me go. I'll rather do that then.
Okay, thank you, Akanksha. With this, we'll close this. Okay, thank you. What all emotions did you see or what did you experience? You can just unmute and speak whatever you felt from different instances of me and Akanksha here. Ellen, Dinesha, Ratish. Okay, Ratish, you were not there in the picture in between. So what we were doing is that we were kind of playing the twist of emotions in the same situation. Emotions of anxiousness or confidence or anger or disappointed or fear, different things that you saw over here were something where we were trying to play different emotions and how we behave while we are having those emotions. So that is what we are doing now. And anyone would like to share anything? Dinesha, Ellen, Vijaya, Uma ma'am, Ravi, Priscilla, you have been silent.
Yeah, we have seen actually confident, we have seen again hope, again okay, just like that we'll attend. So like that we have seen that.
Interesting. Thank you. Uma ma'am writes anxiety, confidence, relaxed at last. Wonderful. Nice. Dinisha?
Yes, sir. Once like you are thinking like so already someone was like already earlier guy who got the job. Simply I'm wasting the time because you are like demoting ourselves. At the same time, Akanksha took into like why my experience would have been better. Why can't I put all of effort to come here? Let me go and attend that interview. The positivity, everything, anxiety, low confidence, everything has come across.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Dinisha, for summarizing that. With that, thank you, Priscilla. Nice emotions, both of you. Unable to speak today. No problem. We understand. And I think with that, we are coming to the end or the close of today's session. The entire idea was the different fun that we have of connecting the stories. The fact is, stories is something that is a commonality between each one of us, and not just us. We are talking of different time zones, timelines across the world. You talk of 1947, we have a storyline there. We talk of today, we have a storyline. We have a story of the time that you were born and that you graduated, that you studied, that you did a job, whatever you're doing today. Everything is a storyline. But the most important thing is not just the fact of what is the storyline. It's a narrative that you're creating out of that storyline. It's the emotion that are being in the driver's seat while you are living that storyline. Look at this instance of the last game that we played. Different emotions, what you're experiencing will come in a different way in your storyline. So make sure the emotions most often we think are the result of the storyline. But many a times, if we can choose the right emotion, the storyline changes. Focus on that and start making sure that the stories that you are experiencing today or the ones that you're remembering today are something which is going to bring you a smile, which is going to give you power rather than make you dull or down with fear. And so choose to build your stories based on what you want your life to be and not based on what all life is teaching you it to be. So focus on that element. And I think stories as a wonderful medium through which we all can live our lives and create our lives. Just make sure you're in charge of the narrative that you're creating. With that, we come to an end for today's session. I would leave it open for any feedback, any questions, any thoughts before I close the session the usual way. Anyone would like to share anything? I'm waiting.
Yeah, it was wonderful. Through activities, we learned that how stories have a great impact in our life, and how even a small moment of any experience, we can relate it to a story, and even through words, we can create magic and weave it into a story. So wonderful activities. We enjoyed the session.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Yeah, it take us actually some drama like that we acted. Again, different thinking, and again stress buster as well as actually next level. Actually, what we'll think something will be there, we will do one way like that. I can tell, I can think and I will do, but I need to do counterpart like that, means that thinking somewhat different experience. Yeah, that's nice actually. Thank you.
Wonderful. Like I mentioned, I wanted to keep it light and I wanted you all to sleep well, but I think I'm still leaving you all with the same question or making you think more even before you're sleeping tonight. Yes, Vijay, you wanted to share something.
Today I learned that story, maybe there is some memory. We are connecting to those, and if we want to change our life, we have to change our memory, emotions. मेमोरी पर इस तरीके से याद करते हैं वो, तो इट्स मतलब मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा आज का सेशन, और मुझे वही लगा कि we can change our life by doing this small activities.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that, Vijaya. Dinesha, go ahead.
The first thing what I learned, how I can able to create a story at the on spot. Like it is like a platform to understand what is my capability story creating. Second part is it is like emotions in the story itself. We are in the same situation, we can able to mix up all the emotions. In day-to-day life, one situation is come like be a wife and husband, they will fight for silly small things. We can become angry also, that we can take it as different also, laugh also, how we can take it. Based on that, our life will continue. It will take a different shape. In that way, whatever the plans we have, even worst situation also, we can to take it. I want to give you one example. Even my relatives also, anybody goes, if any death happened in my relatives, what happens? Everybody will be crying. Now I will think at the same moment I'll get enough laugh, but I was not in a condition to laugh in front of them. Why I think why these people are laughing, crying this much. So most of the time I came out and laughed enough, and again I went to the same place. Why I think at the same time the learning is during the death time, so many people they will come and cry, and they will come up with Ara and Bucket, everything spending around minimum 200 rupees. If they were alive, at the same time, if they come up with a 200 rupees and we one fruits like 100 rupees apple cage, 100 rupees, how are you here? Are you happy? Are you living healthy life? This is what I wanted to check you, like how you are feeling, everything. If one call or even simply the 200 rupees, you may be in the financial distress or some problem. The 200 rupees contributed their network people, they will come up with a lot of challenges. Instead of going at the death time with bucket, everything crying, that is not going to help. That's what how we are going to take the emotion. And this like a lesson for me, even situation how I can handle with the different emotions so that I can take it to the next level.
Wonderful. Thank you, Dinesha, for sharing that. Akanksha, and Dinesha, with regard to specifically your idea and the passion of storytelling, this is a wonderful activity where you can build it up and see how the entire thought that you had about building storytelling as your passion and how you want to build. This is a wonderful way, because storytelling is all about this with regard to shift or the twist in the emotions or twist in perspective or the narrative that you're creating. Storytelling is all about that. I hope this session helps you in taking that further up. Thank you. Akanksha.
I just wanted to share what I felt during all the 3 different games. The first game, the 4 different words. I'm pretty sure while others got the words too, you were thinking up a story by yourself. Not just what they are going to share, but even you thought of what you would be sharing if you were in that place. And before even the game began, there were 2 example slides that were shared too. I'm pretty sure most of us at least thought of a story there. So, and then again, the people who were given the story, people who were given the chance to speak during that time, shared a completely different narrative. And I think that shows you how different people could be. And yet there might be aspects when you could find the similarity. So with that similarity and differences, it shows how you're both similar and you're both different, very different in many different cases. And the second game, where you went to lining the story begins somewhere and it ends somewhere entirely different. And I think that's exactly how our lives are too. We begin somewhere, but we end up completely somewhere else. And especially when I was sharing my story, it began with an exam, and then the exam ended, and then it went so far that you never knew. I was thinking what I should be sharing while the exam was happening. Should I be humanist? What should I do? And then all of a sudden there was a switch, and it led to me thinking for 2 seconds. I was just processing what could be happening. So that way, the stories were entirely different and actually made me think. And the third one, when the emotions. I'm pretty sure you would describe different emotions. Some might describe it as hope, some might describe it as happiness. So different people might get a different view of the emotion, and that's entirely valid too. So while sir, you said about one specific situation as hope, in my case, I would call that happiness or relief with that hope. So it's like the different emotions, you're able to express it in a different way. And despite that, a whole story is being built, a whole narrative inside a person's head. The different thoughts that could be. You're not only made up of one thought. There are so many thoughts. One comes up, the other entirely different comes up. So that's something I really loved about the third game. Thank you.
Thank you, Akanksha. I think very well summarized with regard to the ideas or the thoughts behind each of those activities. Anyone else would like to share anything? Ratish?
Thank you very much, sir, for giving this opportunity. And today was the first time I think I made any story out of 4 words and on the spot. So thank you. It was a good experience.
Thank you. And I would like to especially thank Ratish for this. And all of you all can thank Ratish for today's session, because of the fact that there was a time today evening, we weren't prepared for what we are doing for today's session, whether we want to have it or we don't want to have it. Have a break. Let's take 1 session off. That's okay. And that's when Ratish ended up, I had a good 30-minute conversation with Ratish today evening, and that's where he said, such a long duration, 119 sessions, that stretch in itself is something which is inspiring. And that I said 119 inspiring, I think 120 will be even better than that. Let's continue and do a session for today. And that is what made me think of this session, because till today evening 6 p.m. I wasn't clear whether I want to have a session at all, or what session should I be having, or what topic should I be taking. But then that conversation with Satish, that's a story for another day, of how that one moment is what inspired me to have this session for sure, even with whatever challenges that I'm going on right now. And right now, Dinesha shared about someone expiring, someone going away. Today morning, I have one of my family friends' mother passing away, and I was at the funeral in the afternoon. And connections, that's how stories are formed, I believe. You had to share that story of someone coming with a bouquet, and I had that visual of how things are and how it is, what you're sharing isn't from a different league altogether, but I am experiencing that story even today. I've been in touch, but obviously I had that thought, when did I last meet her? If I had met her 2 months back, couldn't I have met her 2 weeks back? Why did I miss that? Why didn't I call her? So she was aged, but the fact is that was an experience in which had a lesson, and that's what stick to us in the form of a story for a long time. With that, I think let's close the session the usual way, and then we can stick around for another 2 to 3 minutes before we close the session. Let me close the usual again. Saturday nights have never been this beautiful for the last 120 Saturday nights now. It's been an honor to be sharing our perspective, listening to your perspectives, and gaining new perspectives. Thank you for the love that you keep coming back every Saturday night and adding life to our life and to every member of the Speak Up Club family. See you next Saturday, 9 p.m. again. Good night, everyone.